Have aliens ever visited us? Well, on January 20th in 1996 in Brazil, 3 girls encountered something remarkable. At around 3:30, 4 o'clock on January 20th in 1996 in the city of Virginia in Brazil, 3 girls encountered a creature in a field. It had brown skin, red eyes, 3 to 4 feet tall, and it was kneeling down on the ground. Now, they believe that this creature was hurt as it was hunched over and didn't pay them any attention whatsoever. But they thought they had seen the devil, so they ran home, told the mother. They then later went back to the area that they'd seen this creature and it was no longer there. 2 local researchers heard about such a sighting and they decided to interview the girl. One of the researchers was Dr. Ubrigaja Franco Rodriguez and the other was Vittorio Paccaccini. After interviewing the girls, they decided to do their own research and ask a few of the locals. But before I talk about that, here's a clip of a video that I'll link in the description below of the interview with 2 of the girls.
Sem ser esse detalhe. A posição, a cor, os olhos.
A cor mais escura.
She's saying that the bean. Yeah, she's saying that the bean has less vein. The color was darker.
Tá muito gordo.
And this one say he's too fat.
This one's too fat?
It's too fat.
Tá muito forte. It's too strong.
O chifre tá muito grande.
And the horns are not like that, they're smaller.
Os olhos.
Os olhos.
O que tem?
Era mais vermelho.
The eyes were more red.
Mais vermelho os olhos?
Here is another clip as well, and this man on the screen now is Vittorio Paccaccini, and he talks about what he was looking for and what he believes happened.
31 years old, I'm single. I live in Belo Horizonte, which is the capital of the state of Minas Gerais. It's the 2nd state of Brazil. And I belong to this oldest Brazilian investigation group. It's called CICOANI. It means Centro de Investigação Civil de Objetos Aéreos Não Identificados. And I have been working with them for 18 years now. The group was established right after the World War II, so we're talking about a 50 years old group, more or less. It's the oldest in Brazil.
Were there sightings back then in Brazil in 46, 47?
Yes, many.
So after going about, Rodriguez and Paccaccini concluded that there was something definitely going on and an alien kind of creature was definitely seen. Multiple eyewitnesses said they'd seen this creature about the area in this field, and a few also mentioned army trucks. What do you think Rodriguez and Paccaccini done? They went straight to the army, so they asked a few soldiers and sergeants to see what they think was going on and to see if they had any more information than what the locals were saying. The soldiers and a few sergeants give them a bit of information but nothing that they hadn't heard. But one decided to talk to them in private and shed a bit of extra light on what was happening on January 20th. Around 9 o'clock, the fire department were told about a strange animal that needed capturing in the nearby area. When the fire department arrived, they realised it wasn't a strange animal, it was just a normal one, and they let the army know that they weren't needed and they dealt with the issue themselves. Later that day, another strange animal needed assistance, so the fire department went and the army went and they captured the animal using nets, cages, and they put it in the army truck and had it underneath some restrictive fabric. They also took it to a nearby hospital. So on the morning there was a strange animal that turned out to not be a strange animal, and then all of a sudden later in the evening another injured strange animal was took to the Humanities Hospital for an autopsy, by a well-known doctor, Dr. Baden Powell's. All staff involved in the autopsy and making sure that this strange creature gets better denied ever having anything to do with it. Even Dr. Baden Powell's denied ever seeing or being involved in anything like this. On January 22nd, 3 army trucks helped move this creature from the Humanities Hospital to the military facility in the Campinas in Sao Paulo. Now, these 3 trucks, none of the drivers knew what truck the creature was in. So I don't know why they've done this, but they drove the 200 miles from the Humanities Hospital to the military facility in Campinas just to get this creature out of the nearby area, maybe, I don't know. But a big question, how did they get there? They didn't just spawn in, there's not an alien spawner in the field in Brazil, so how did they get there? Well, NORAD, or the North American Aerospace Defense Command, detected a large UFO in the atmosphere, which they tracked all the way to Virginia in Brazil. Of course, US elite troops were sent over to Virginia to go and find out what it was. However, by around 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, a few people had already seen it and witnessed what had happened, and 2 local farmers even woke up to a mysterious UFO flying very close to the ground with smoke coming out the back, which crash landed on their farm. We're getting to the fire department of Virginia now, so it's around the early morning, like I said, around 9 o'clock, but it could be earlier, could even be anywhere from 6 to 7. And once the fire department arrive and call the military of Virginia and say there's no need for you to come out, it isn't a strange animal, guess who was already there? The US military. And guess who had already captured the alien or whatever it was? The US military. As we know, the US military now have 1. Let's say it's around 10 o'clock and the 3 that were captured in total, the US elite troops have secured 1. Later that day, at around 3:30, 4 o'clock, the 3 girls come in and they find another, who go to tell the mother that they think they've seen the devil, just to come back to find it wasn't there, because the US military had swiped that one up as well. And then later, now the Brazilian military have captured one themselves, done an autopsy, and then they've took it to the military facility in Campinas, where the US military swiped that one up as well. So now all 3 have been captured. The UFO that crashed, military have got it. So now this is where Victorio and Rodriguez come into it and they start digging around, but the US military has already got them. So this is the whole story. I couldn't believe it when I was reading it, but I'm going to try and find a bit more information out. I've linked the 2 videos down below if you want to check them out. They are quite lengthy, so they're difficult to try and keep your focus on them, but they are worth a watch. You can learn a bit more about this story. There's not much information out there. I don't know why, because this is huge, but it was a struggle to try and find the information. I've had to compare a few sites together to try and get an overall to see which isn't true and which is, and I've just made up the ones where a lot of the stuff correlated and made sense, and this is what I found, and I believe this is genuinely what happened. There'll be a lot more in-depth detail, but this is just unbelievable. I can't believe it. This is ridiculous. Like I showed in the clip where John was talking, he was saying about what he went there to do. So it's not even like it's a not known thing that this happened. It's like the military tried to cover it up as best as they can. They even said that one was like a Brazilian drug man, and they said that's how you see kneeling in the field, a man who was high, and he's known around the area. They were just blaming it on stupid things. So if you've got any input or any other information, please direct me. I'd love to find that out. And if you did enjoy this video, please check this one out here and follow me while I hunt for paranormal sightings and events that are beyond belief.